two people wake up at the same time tomorrow morning. Same city, same 24 hours, same amount of sleep. By tonight, one of them will be a little closer to free. The other won't even notice the difference. Long before someone becomes wealthy, they start seeing something differently. Not opportunity, not luck. Time. A welder clocks in at 6. A software engineer logs on at 9. A landlord collects rent on the 1st of the month. A creator uploads a video and goes to sleep. 4 different lives, 4 different incomes. Ask each of them what an hour is actually worth, and you'll get 4 different answers. One of those answers quietly predicts who ends up wealthy. It probably isn't the one you'd guess. Imagine your first day at a job. Someone hands you a contract. It says they'll pay you for every hour you give them. It feels fair. It feels normal. It's also the moment most people quietly agree to trade hours for dollars, one at a time, for the rest of their lives. The welder trades his. The engineer trades hers. Even the landlord, if he's the one fixing every leak himself, is still trading his. Wealthy people figured out something almost no one says out loud. There are 2 ways to hold an hour. You can spend it, or you can deploy it. A spent hour is gone the moment it's used. Worked, paid, finished. A deployed hour is different. It keeps working after you've gone home. When Jeff Bezos left a stable career to start an online bookstore, he wasn't trading hours for a bigger paycheck. He was building something that his hours could survive without him. A system that would still be selling books while he slept, while he ate, while he did nothing at all. That's the whole difference, stripped down to one sentence. He stopped selling hours and started teaching them how to outlive him. The landlord who buys a second property. The engineer who builds one small tool that saves her team 10 hours a week. The creator whose video keeps getting watched and keeps getting paid, long after she stopped thinking about it. None of them added more hours to their day. They stopped letting every hour die the moment it was spent. 2 people can work the exact same number of hours, feel the exact same exhaustion by nightfall, and still end up in completely different lives, not because one worked harder, because one was building something that could outlive the hour. In the late 1960s, a psychologist named Walter Mischel sat a small child alone in a room. He placed a marshmallow on the table in front of her. Then he made an offer. Eat it now, or wait, and get 2. Some children lasted seconds. Others covered their eyes, turned their chairs around, sang quietly to themselves, anything to make the waiting easier. For decades, everyone told this story the same way. The children who waited grew up successful. The ones who didn't struggle. Willpower, the story said. That was the whole lesson. But years later, researchers went back and looked closer. The story started to fall apart. The children who ate the marshmallow immediately weren't weaker. Many came from homes where promises didn't always get kept, where a parent said later and later never came, where waiting, in the past, had cost them the thing they were promised in the first place. For those children, eating the marshmallow now wasn't a failure of self-control, it was a lesson their life had already taught them. If it's in front of you, take it. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed to remember what today promised. The instinct wasn't broken. It was accurate. Scarcity doesn't make people weak. It makes them precise. It teaches the brain, correctly, that the only thing you can trust is what's already in your hand. Now, picture the opposite childhood, a home where promises were kept, where waiting was safe because later always arrived. That child doesn't grow up with more discipline. She grew up with evidence. Proof, repeated enough times, that patience gets rewarded instead of punished. The real difference was never about willpower. It was about which world taught you to trust the wait. Most adults are still finishing that childhood experiment in every decision they make with money. The upgrade bought today instead of the investment made quietly. The opportunity taken now, because now is the only thing that's ever felt safe to trust. It isn't a weakness. It's an old lesson, still running in the background, long after the room and the marshmallow are gone. A lesson learned can be unlearned, and that starts with a single decision most people walk straight past without noticing. Someone emails you. A quick coffee. Nothing urgent. Just a conversation with a person a little further along in your field. You look at your calendar. It's full. The coffee isn't. So you say no, politely, reasonably. It's just an hour, and you don't have one to spare. 3 years pass. You hear that the same person hired someone for a role you would have been perfect for. Someone who said yes to a similar invitation once, a while back. Nothing was stolen from you. No one did anything wrong. The door simply never got built because the hour that would have built it was spent somewhere else, on something that felt more urgent at the time and is completely forgotten now. This is what compounding actually looks like when it isn't a chart, not a bank balance. A door, either standing or never built at all. Compounding was never really about money. Money was just the easiest place to watch it happen. The same law that grows a balance also grows a person. Every skill you practice today doesn't announce itself. It doesn't pay you this week. It stacks in a place you can't see it working until one day someone calls it talent. It was never talent. It was 100 hours nobody was watching. The same is true for trust. One kept promise means almost nothing on its own. Nobody notices the first one, or the 10th. But somewhere around the 100th, something shifts. People stop hoping you'll come through. They start expecting it. And the moment someone expects you to come through, they hand you things they'd never hand to someone they merely hope about. Opportunities that never reach the open market. Rooms that never post an invitation because someone already had you in mind before the room was full. Wealthy thinkers aren't just compounding their capital, they're compounding themselves. The real question was never, how do I get more money to invest? It's this, what am I doing today that's still going to be paying me back in 10 years? Because if the only thing you're compounding is a bank account, you're leaving almost everything else on the table. Warren Buffett was once asked what actually separates successful people from those who become something more. The difference, he said, between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. No, they work longer hours. Not, they answer faster. They say no, almost constantly. It sounds backwards. Wouldn't saying yes create more opportunity? Sometimes. But every yes comes with a price tag nobody shows you at the register. Every meeting accepted is an hour of thinking you no longer get to spend. Every commitment made on autopilot is attention withdrawn from something that actually mattered. There's a name for this, opportunity cost. It's the invisible price every yes charges, whether you notice it or not. The greatest cost is rarely the one on the receipt. It's the version of the week you didn't get to have, because the version you said yes to used it all up first. Watch how wealthy people actually spend money, and you'll notice something strange. They pay other people to do things they could easily do themselves. Not because they can't mow a lawn or answer an email, because they've learned to ask a different question before agreeing to anything. No, can I do this? Is this the highest use of the one thing I can't get back? Two business owners. Both are working 10 hours a day. One insists on doing everything himself. Invoices, scheduling, every small fire that starts. By evening, he's exhausted, and the business looks exactly the same as it did that morning. The other spends the first 2 hours solving the one problem that actually matters, then lets a system, or a person he trusts, carry the rest. From the outside, both look equally busy. Only one is building something. The richest purchase most people never make isn't a bigger house or a faster car. It's an empty Tuesday afternoon, owned outright, answering to no one's inbox but your own. You can always make more money. You cannot make more hours. Every no that protects your time isn't a loss. It's the highest return on investment available to any person alive. In the early 2000s, researchers inside Microsoft went looking for something simple. What actually separates the highest performers from everyone else? The obvious answers didn't hold up. No experience, not intelligence, no longer hours. The highest performers weren't the busiest people in the building. What set them apart was almost invisible. Long, uninterrupted blocks of focus, protected like something valuable because it was. Compare that to your own morning. Alarm goes off. Feet haven't touched the floor yet, and you're already looking at a screen. One notification, then another. A headline, a message, a video that was supposed to take 30 seconds. 5 minutes later, you've forgotten what you picked the phone up for. It feels harmless. What's 5 minutes? The average person checks their phone close to 100 times a day. Most of those checks last only seconds. None of them feels like a decision. Together, they are the biggest decision most people never realize they're making. Every notification carries the same message. This is more important than whatever you were about to do. Hear that enough times a day, and your brain starts to believe it. Without deciding to, you stop choosing where your attention goes. You start renting it out, one buzz at a time. The apps competing for your attention were never really competing for your money. They were built to compete for the thing that actually determines your life, where your attention goes. Because wherever attention goes, a life eventually follows it there. Multiply 30 scattered minutes a day by a year, and the math turns strange. It's enough time to learn a language, build a small business, read every book you've been meaning to read. The tragedy was never that people didn't have enough time. It's that most never notice exactly where theirs is leaking out. Wealthy thinkers aren't succeeding because they have more willpower than you. They stopped relying on willpower at all and built environments where distraction has fewer places to win. Notifications silenced. Blocks of time are protected like appointments that can't be moved. Every interruption costs more than the minute it steals. It costs the momentum building underneath it. And momentum is where every meaningful breakthrough is actually born. By 5 in the afternoon, Jeff Bezos stops making important decisions. Not because he's tired in the way sleep fixes, because by evening his mind has already spent its sharpest hours on something else. His highest quality thinking happens before lunch. Anything demanding gets scheduled in the morning. He isn't chasing more hours, he's protecting the ones actually worth something. Think about your own day. When do you sit down with the thing that matters most? The business you keep meaning to start, the skill that could change everything. For most people, the honest answer is the same. After everything else is done, which means never, because everything else is never actually done. The emails refill. The messages keep arriving. The day fills itself before you get to the part that was supposed to matter. If you were handed one guaranteed hour a day where your mind was operating at its absolute best, would you spend it answering messages that could wait? Probably not. Then, why do so many people spend their sharpest hour doing exactly that without ever deciding to? Wealthy thinkers reverse the order. They don't ask what needs to get done today, they ask what deserves the best version of them. Those two questions build two different lives. The first creates people who are busy. The second creates people who are building something. Most people fill every empty space on their calendar. Wealthy thinkers protect it. Because an empty calendar, more often than not, is what produces a full life. Picture two people, both 25, same graduation year, similar jobs, similar pay, same city. From the outside, their lives are almost impossible to tell apart. Watch what happens after work. The first gets home tired and tells himself he's earned a break. He has. Dinner, a few videos, scrolling until it's late enough to sleep. Tomorrow, he'll start. The second is just as tired. He wants the same break, but before he takes it, he makes himself one small promise, just 1 hour. Some nights it's a book, some nights a skill, some nights a small idea that, for months, earns him almost nothing. There are evenings, he questions it, evenings when quitting would be so much easier than continuing. Fast forward, not 1 year, 10. The first man has spent roughly 3,600 hours consuming. The second has spent the same 3,600 hours building, same number, opposite direction. Not one of those individual nights felt like a mistake. Watching one more episode never feels like the decision that ruins a decade. It just feels like resting. That's exactly why it works. Time doesn't punish you for the day you wasted. It waits. It compounds in silence, and later it sends the bill, not as a fine, as regret, the version of yourself you could have built and didn't. The second man wasn't superhuman. He didn't wake up motivated every day. Some days, he wasted his hour too. Some days, he failed completely. The difference was never perfection. It was that he kept returning. He never let one bad day become a bad month. 10 years of ordinary Tuesdays, choosing the future over the present, again and again, until the choosing stopped feeling like a decision at all. Tomorrow morning, 2 people will wake up again. Same city, same 24 hours. One will spend the hour, one will deploy it. You already know which future each of them is building. The difference was never the 24 hours. It was what survived them.